Hi, this is Mike. This is a follow-up video to the multi-round video um, to explain the impact that changes had on how T-sheets are linked to tournaments. So this video will just cover uh, how that has changed and a little bit of a recap for um, just sort of general purposes. But let's go back to my league and let's see how this works now. So just refresh this. Um, so the basic mechanism is the same. You can add a T sheet. This is the multi-round tournament that I set up in the last video. Just to recap again, the change now is that we have separate panels for each round of the tournament. So this is going to make it a lot easier to manage the T sheets, and it's a little bit more intuitive, I think, how it works. Before, we had rather a confusing situation sometimes where we had multiple T sheets stacked up against a single tournament. It wasn't really clear what was going on, but excuse me, you'll see now that this should be a little bit more clear, I think, and a bit more intuitive, as I said. So in the normal way, you can add tee times from the main tee sheet page or from the tournament admin page. So here's my test multi-round tournament here with the 2 rounds on March 21st, March 28th. And as before, you can click the button here to create a tee sheet, but this time, obviously, we're it's a little bit clearer. I think you're attaching a tee sheet here to round one explicitly or to round two. So let's go ahead and click on this one for round one. I've got some configurations. If you've only got one configuration, this steps will be jumped over, but let's just create that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So you'll see here, this is largely the same. The difference is up in this section previously, we had another linking mechanism, which was just, there were three options. One was to be not linked, one was to be linked to a specific tournament, and then the other option was to link to all matching, which was a little bit ambiguous and did actually lead to some problems. So the change now is that, again, you can either be not linked, but you can either then link to a single tournament or you can link to multiple tournaments, and you would list these out in this panel here by selecting them from the drop down. Now, because I start from the tournament admin screen on round one, this one's already been added for me automatically. I can remove this and go back to not linked and then put it back if I want. And obviously, if there were other tournaments, I'll show an example of that in a minute. But in this case, we just got one tournament and one tee sheet. And that's the normal. The difference, as I said, is this is linked explicitly to round one now. The short name here, I'll explain what this is in a second. This is automatically defaulted. Previously, that was a manual entry, and the title is inherited from the tournament itself. So let's. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make this tee sheet open so I can book to it. And so let's just hit save here. So here's my new tee sheet. It's for the test multi tournament, round one on March 21st. And so this is kind of really the same as what we had before. So let's go back to the home page. And you'll see now we have a tee time label on the round one tournament, not on round two. And that little short name that we defaulted on the settings is just another way to enforce that this is a round one tee time. So we can click on this. And then this is really essentially the same, exactly the same as we had before. Nothing's changed here. I can click on book. because my tournament is optional T, I have a T selection here. So let's just put this in. I'll put the white T and click book. So this is just the same as what it was before. So let's go back to the home page. Let's create a T sheet now on round 2. And let's do that this time through the T time button. So we click add new. This time we have to select the tournament because we're not coming from the admin screen. So let's say we want to do round 2. And we'll do the same configuration. So that's round 2, Thursday late. Now you'll see that the round 2 tournament has been added by default because that's what I selected. Round 2 for the short name. Everything else is the same. So let's just hit save here. And we'll go back to the home page. And again, this is pretty much the same. Previously, we had the one panel across a range of dates. It wasn't really clear that there were multiple rounds. You could have multiple T-sheets attached to that, and it was a little bit confusing. So now it's a little bit, I think this is a little bit clearer. So we have round 1 and round 1 T times, round 2 T times. These are not open yet. But apart from that, it's exactly the same. So that's really it. There's not much else to show here. I just wanted to show. I do want to show you one other situation which is already set up, and it's a little bit more complicated, just to show you what you can do now. So let's look at the Bruce Women's Golf League, and if we scroll down a bit here, I set these up before. So this is a fairly complex situation, but just shows what you can do now. So we have this league on June 18th. They have 2 tournaments, one from the Gold Tee, Founders Cup Gold, and Founders Cup Green, both on June 18th. One's from the Gold Tees, one's from Optional Tee. I actually changed this just for this demonstration, but this is actually should be Green Tees, but I just wanted to show you one of the options you can have now. And then the following week, they have round 2, Gold Tee, round 2, Green Tee. Now, in this case, the round 1 tee times are shared. The tee sheet is shared across both of these tournaments. So if I click on this now, and let's do a booking, what we're going to see now is now, because I clicked on the gold tee. The gold tee from the home page, it defaults that into the tournament selection here. So let's put in somebody at random here, and that's the gold tee. And let's say we'll pick somebody else. And Jill wants to play from the green tee. Now, when I select this, what's going to happen is because the green, and again, I just manipulate this a little bit just for this demonstration. This is something that you could not do before. You could not have multiple tournaments with different tee configurations. So in this case, ignore the green here, but this is really an optional tee tournament alongside the gold. So in this case, I have to select the tee as well as this tournament. So if I go back to gold, because that's a fixed tee, this disappears. But on green, so let's say I want to play on a green gold tee for this one. So this is a fairly complex situation, but this it just illustrates there's a little bit more flexibility in this now, in that you can combine any number of tournaments and any number of tee selections here. And then Leaderboard will display that appropriately. So that's really it. I'll just nip back to here. I just wanted to show. Let's just recap this a little bit. If we look at the settings, so again, the difference is that this section where we had not linked, single, or all matching before, which was a little bit ambiguous. Now you explicitly list the tournaments. Actually, let me go back to Bruce, and I'll show you how that looks on this one. Because now, in this case, we have two tournaments linked here, and I could actually add. There's actually four tournaments running on this day with this league. 9 holes on gold, 9 holes on green, 18 holes gold, 18 holes. So we could actually patch in even more here. I'm not going to do that, but you could, let's say we can add another one here. I'm not going to do that because that's kind of a cross group here, but you could actually you can add as many tournaments in here as you want. I mean, at some point it gets a bit ridiculous, but there's no limit here but the idea is that you're actually going to explicitly identify which of these tournaments you want to be linked to the tee sheet. Okay, so that's it. Again, as always, please, if you've got any questions, please just ask. And that's it for now, and see you on the next one. Thanks very much.